You're a pretty tough guy. You're pretty strong. How much you weigh?
190.
190. All right. I'm like 155. All right. Maybe 160. His neck. Okay, but for this drill, go ahead and connect it. Get it as good as you can. You got it?
Yeah.
You want to put some pressure? You can elevate your butt a little if you want. Okay. Hold it as tight as you can. Okay. What if my head's so close? Can you elbow?
No.
Not really, right? Oh. Harder. That's about all you got. Keep going. What's the problem now? Oh, what's the problem? Keep going. Can you hold my wrist? Let me get that thing out. Now what's the problem? There's a problem. What if we were in a wrestling match? What would the referee say? Yeah. He would say, get off the throat. Because what's going to happen now? You'd be tapping. You ready? Let's do it. Teach me grappling. Brian Peterson here. I got Jesse James helping me out. Look, guys, I had a comment on my last video about the what I called, like, I think it was wrist roll to avoid back takes. Guys, some people was asking about the Peterson. My last name is Peterson, but there is a wrestling move called the Peterson, and sometimes I avoid using the name Peterson because people start thinking I'm claiming it's mine or I made it up. I didn't make it up, guys. The move's been around for a very, very long time. Even before whatever Peterson was doing it, it was still a move back then, before that, I'm sure. So, I want to address this problem. Someone in the comment section, I'm not going to name his name, I actually don't know it, I don't remember, but he was telling me about the Peterson, about it being good for a MMA fight or street self-defense. And I want to show you guys what my personal opinion is. I tried to explain to him that it's not good for a fight. It's not good for jiu-jitsu or an MMA fight because you're going to get caught in a crucifix. So I need to address this problem, and I want to show you guys why I don't do the Peterson for jiu-jitsu, grappling, or MMA. Okay? Not saying it absolutely cannot work, but it's not wise for the obvious reason that if someone's skilled, it's gonna fail you. So let me explain what I mean by a Peterson. So just come behind me real quick, I'll do it to you. So look, guys, this trapping wrist roll technique, okay, there's lots of details. Everybody has so many details on how to do this, where you take the wrist, you pull it up, you push it down, push it across. I'm not gonna go into those details. A lot of that is preference to people. They have different reasons why they do what they do. I think he mentioned shrug. They talk about the Grammy system, which I'm somewhat familiar with. Level 2 shrug, I think, is what he said. So I move here and I roll the guy through. Now, when you guys do this in wrestling, we split the legs. There's a couple controls here. One of them is like this, where I go under. I prefer this one, actually. Not in wrestling. No. In wrestling, I would like to lock up a full Peterson, okay, which is connect on the wrist. So see, I've hooked the leg. I've kind of got him in some sort of like a cradle by hooking his leg, and then I confirm it by holding his wrist. I can put two hands on the wrist, push the wrist down into my crotch. As I do that, I can elevate my butt a little bit. That makes me really, really heavy. And then I look for a pin in the sport of wrestling. But this position is very dangerous to do in grappling or in a fight for the reasons of, if I'm here, I'm putting myself in a crucifix. By diving my arm in between the legs, I get into trouble. If he ever breaks this grip, which is not that difficult, go ahead, break the grip. Now my arm, go ahead and control my arm. Yeah, you can control with either leg. And then now I've got his wrist, so I'm still okay. I'm still okay. But the problem is when he starts to choke with his left hand, you're getting into trouble. You start to defend, he grabs my wrist. No, underneath, yeah. And now I'm in the full crucifix, I'm gonna lose. Guys, this pin of wrestling, can you stop choking me? This pin in wrestling is not good for MMA or jiu-jitsu. Don't do this. Try to avoid it at all times. Much better to hold the pants, okay? to grab onto the pants and control like this, okay? If I'm gonna control the guy, when the guy tries to grab my neck to choke me, I can push and turn on top and come back to here. Or under the leg for not grabbing the gi, here, under the leg, then I can always turn back into a double leg. I want to turn towards the legs right here. Turn towards the legs, and then now I can work on passing the guard here. If you turn towards the head, in wrestling, we turn towards the head like this. If I control the Peterson very well, here's my basic rule for my wrestling team. We score our near fall, fight off your back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I've got 3 points in a high school match. You got 4 in a college match. Then I can take this arm, swipe, go for the head. As I go for the head, we've got a couple variations. One is go for the headlock, grab my thigh, release, and go to the head and arm. Another one would be to go for what's called the Peterson pin, which is you grab the wrist, double up, reach for the head, hook on your thigh for control if you need it. And then once you go, okay, I've got enough control, I'm deciding what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna go for the headlock. I'm gonna let go of my thigh, rotate towards my knees, get up on my knees, and then go for the fall like this. The fall in wrestling means the pin. He kicks, and he's stacked up, and I pin him. This is what we call the Peterson pin. Now, again, guys, this position looks good, but in the sport of wrestling, he's fighting off his back. He's got to keep his shoulders up. So he's worried about that, okay? Sometimes you have to worry about a crossface, the guy crossface, you know, like this, okay? Sometimes you got to worry about this leg going over your head in wrestling, okay? So there's all these problems that we have to worry about, but the crucifix is the biggest problem when there's submissions involved. Because in the sport of wrestling, he's not allowed to choke me, but now he is. So you wrestlers out there, I know I've got a lot of guys that have wrestling experience. Don't do this in your jiu-jitsu stuff. So here's what, I believe the guy, if I'm getting you right, he controlled the Peterson, he talked about that, and then now I've got elbows to the head. So it looks really good for a street fight. Oh, open elbows right here. I could just elbow him. Guys, look, just the same, could you elbow me? So I'm elbowing you, you elbow me. Boom, we're both doing this. Guys, we can both hit each other. It's not what you think it is. This wrist control, think about it. I'm holding his wrist with one hand if I elbow him. What if your left hand, what if you glue your head to my arm? Glue your head. What if you wrap around my neck and start choking me? How's my elbows? Now what if you kick that leg? You guys see the problem that we're getting into. It's something you gotta get in this position. There's a problem when wrestlers go into submission territory and they start to think that every single wrestling move is gonna apply. Just like in boxing, when a guy in boxing stands like this and he gets real narrow and he starts shoulder rolling and doing all this and trying to weave out of the way so we can roll and counter with the right hand, just like a guy does that, it works within the sport. But the problem is, if you were to turn sideways, you know, hands up like this, split this one here, put this one down, turn your shoulder, yeah, like this, blade your legs a lot, and the guy, and I'm trying to box with you here, and I just go crack, okay? You guys gotta stand like it's a realistic fight. You can't just go into your sports movements and not realize that the rules of your sport protect you, okay? Just like in jiu-jitsu, can you carry me? I'm gonna jump on you. Are you ready? Sport jiu-jitsu, this is okay. Street fight, don't do this. You know, you gotta be crazy to do that, okay? You're gonna get slammed. The sport protects you. Don't think that you can bring that into an MMA fight. Now, sometimes guys do pull guard. Sometimes they do jump guard and then they get an arm bar or triangle. But that doesn't mean it's a wise decision that we should all go for, okay? So, getting back to the point, here's what I want, okay? We're gonna do an experiment. You're a pretty tough guy, you're pretty strong. How much you weigh?
190.
190, all right. I'm like 155, all all right? Maybe 160. All right, you go ahead, come down. So hit this little wrist roll, okay? So guys, look, he goes, I put my arm around, and when you see this arm, if you split the legs and go between the legs, and go ahead, I'll just roll with it, go. And now we're here. He tries to connect to Peterson. By the way, I would never let him in the first place connect it. In the first place, I'm gonna let him for this demonstration, but I would never let him do this. The second he even rolled me, I would be like stretching it. Go, try to connect him. Try. I would never allow it. I would attack his neck. Okay, but for this drill, go ahead and connect it. Get it as good as you can. You got it?
Yeah.
You want to put some pressure? You can elevate your butt a little if you want. Okay, hold it as tight as you can. Okay, what if my head's so close? Can you elbow?
No.
Not really, right? Oh. Harder? That's about all you got. Keep going. What's the problem now? Oh, what's the problem? Keep going. Can you hold my wrist? Let me get that thing out. Now what's the problem? There's a problem. What if we were in a wrestling match? What would the referee say? He would say, get off the throat. Because what's going to happen now? You'd be tapping. Guys, in the sport of wrestling, we can't do this. Go ahead, hold me again. Come on, come on. You can use phone elbow me this time. Just hold with two hands. Right. See, if you got two hands, you should be able to hold it. Go. Matter of time, baby. Matter of time. Wear this big boy out. Oh, I got the neck now. I got the neck now. See that neck turning? I'm sorry, I'm getting in your head. Be confident. You got great wrist control, buddy. No, you gotta keep fighting. I got my wrist free. I get to get, we already did all the work. I gotta have my cake and eat it too. Now I get to have the whole thing. All right. Now guys, there was some honest work for you. Honest work, huh?
Yeah.
That's okay. That went a while, dude. This guy's strong. This guy. And you wrestled too.
Yeah.
So he's got wrestling experience. I'm a lot smaller than you by at least 30 pounds, maybe 35. So guys, look, the Peterson. Don't do it. What are you gonna do with a Peterson? Pin him? He doesn't care about being pinned. Okay, I've had to show this to other very high level wrestlers. Okay, NC2A All-Americans, I've had them put me in the Peterson. I tried to explain it to them when they were getting into Jiu-Jitsu. I said, guys, you can't do this. Don't split between the legs. I've been there too many times. It's a dead zone. You're gonna be in a bad spot. So when you do a wrist roll, or fat man's roll, somebody posted that. We also call the jelly roll or the fat man's roll. Okay, if I'm here and I end up hitting the roll, guys, don't put your arm between the legs. Dangerous, don't do that. Put it on the far side. Put it on the near side. This one's your double leg. This one's your rotation, where I can rotate, like this. It is possible, not recommended, but it is possible for me to turn the other way. If I were to not grab anything and just push like this, and now go ahead, try to move, I could possibly try to get back to the headlock. And then we can go into situations like this, okay, and on and so forth. All of our other techniques, we could, but it's not realistic because you're gonna be going towards my back, yeah?
Yep.
See, so this is dangerous to try to even try. Rotate this way. See how I go under? He tries to choke. Keep going. And I come on top. So that way I don't fear the choke because I have the wrist control. But the problem is, guys, you might wonder, why didn't Jesse do that to me when I was cross-facing him? He can't. Why can he not? Go back, sit on your butt. This arm is the problem. If he holds my wrist and I get a crossface, can you turn towards me over this way? Let go, let go. Try to turn on top. Now I have control, guys. And can you go the other way? See the arm? It's being controlled. If that arm was over here, now I start to choke you, rotate. See that? Now go back. If it's on this leg, like this, can you go? See that? But in between, that's a no-no. Go, try to turn. Okay, you got my wrist. You can let it go when you want. Go, rotate that way. Look guys, come around Joe. Look, even he's here, even if he gets here, notice what the problem is. Get your arm out. And now, he's in the crucifix, and the choke is gonna finish him, okay? One time for you, Jesse, I gotta make you tight, buddy. Gotta make you tight, put you up, I'm gonna put you unconscious. I'm just kidding. There's no way I would do that, buddy. You got scared, huh? No. All right, guys, Teach Me Grappling. Hope you enjoyed. Just having some fun. Thank you, Jesse. All right, Teach Me Grappling. Please click the link down below. Patreon, PayPal. Contribute to this channel. Also, please share this video with your friends. Go on social media, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is. Share it. Okay, tweet about it. Do all you can to try to spread this to everybody, guys. I'm doing my best to try to add to this channel every day. So please, you can also help me, not just by liking this video and contributing monetarily, but also maybe you could share it with others that'll help us get more views and make it bigger and better. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.